You're listening to us here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's the radio, it's a difference. It's 19 hours 22 in Guyana, right across the Eastern Caribbean. We're so happy that you can join us this evening. It's April 3rd. It's a brand new month. We hope April is going to be a great one for you and that you will continue to join us in this fight. And speaking about fight, I wonder if Mr. Lall can remember the man of the moment. 29 years ago, tomorrow, Mr. Lall, you would have said hello to the newspaper industry. And 4 years ago, you would have launched your radio station. I don't know if you remember, but we're celebrating 29 years tomorrow for the Kaieteur newspaper and 4 years for the Kaieteur Radio. So it seems like, Mr. Lall, you will have to go deep in your pocket tomorrow. And you're always generous. So going deep in your pocket when it comes to us, it's no problem to you. So, sir, how do you feel? I'm going to ask you to kickstart with that. I don't know if you remembered, but I know you're only 16, so I don't know how can you start a newspaper 29 years ago. But I don't know. You have to explain that. With that said, a namaste to you. After Mr. Lall's presentation, you can call us this evening, 226-7453, 502-4749, 226-7454. 6 and all the twos, 622-2222, and 624-6456. I always say, running low on credit, hang up and call back. We'll stand the expense for you. With that said, sir, namaste. 29 years and 4 years. Some great big numbers.
4 years tomorrow for the radio.
Yes.
29 years for the newspaper.
Yes.
And I'm only 32. I'll be joking. I had to inherit this newspaper from my father. Josh, to be honest, I don't take check on that. I stay focused on educating the nation. Yeah. I leave that for you people, and I leave that for the nation to ask that question and to remember how long I am around with the newspaper and how long I have started this radio station. It has been more than a beautiful thing, in my life throughout the years, to have been able to come into the homes of so many people who could have afforded the newspaper and who can still afford it today. It's sad that, when I started out this newspaper, Josh, it became one of the leading newspaper with the weekly. It used to be 40,000+. No other newspaper ever meet 40,000+. And that has ventured into twice weekly, thrice weekly, and then the daily. And I have still maintained the leadership by far in Guyana today with the newspaper and its circulation. It's not something to boast about, but I always believe, if you have a product, you give people what they want rather than what you think they need. And that has been my mantra from day one. Yeah. I have bring that over to the radio today, and I've been giving them what they want. Yeah. And I could clearly say that this radio program, it has been the best in the country. Yeah. I visited Berbice yesterday, and I got a shock of my life, which I'm going to talk about later down in my program tonight. So with that, guys, I know you guys are saying quietly in your mind, congratulations, Lall, you did a great job. Thank you. Let me say thank you, although I'm not hearing it. Thank you. I know. I could feel some of you. And with that said, let me say namaste to all you beautiful people. Before I say anything tonight, I want you guys to listen keenly and carefully to a message from a South African Member of Parliament, Julius Malema, a man who's standing up and fighting for the interests and survival of the entire South Africa, Josh. 2 weeks ago, he was the driving force behind bringing the whole country to a total shutdown. People from other countries in Africa saw what he was doing, and it gave them the courage and inspiration to go out in the streets protesting for their rights and shut down some of those countries too, sending clear messages to their leaders: down with corruption and bad leadership. This morning, on my way to work, I listened to a message which I believe he was talking not only to the people of the African continent, but to every citizen in this region, especially Guyana. Could you play that tape so that they can listen to it?
Yes. Only industries is multinational companies. We cannot even own and protect our own agricultural sector with our fertile land in Africa, because Europe and the entire developed countries use Africa and South Africa as a dumping site. Every lower grade food get to be dumped in our countries, undermining our own agriculture. When we say those things, we are called communist, we are called anarchist, we are called radicals, because we must continue to bow before a white supremacist. We're refusing that. We're refusing to bow before imperialism and colonialism. We want a total control of our own country and our own land. We in South Africa, black and white, we coexist as people. When we fight colonialism, we do not fight white people. We come from a bad history of apartheid, where white people have exploited us for far too long. Yet, we have extended a hand of friendship. There are many others who are still refusing and still wanting to act as if we live in the apartheid era. Those do not deserve to live amongst those who want a united South Africa, black and white. It is of their own problem. We are not going to be an international home of racists. We are not going to be an international capital city of racism. We refuse that black people must still bow before white people. And that does not mean you must go away. We are going to reverse the legacy of apartheid through robust engagement and not through pretentious arrangement. We are still hating. We have seen people dying before us. We have seen many children killed by apartheid regime. Yet we came out and said we remain brothers. But there are those who are refusing to show remorse and wanting to perpetuate that which happened during apartheid times. We owe no one no apology when we say South Africa is no home of racists, and racism must be fought everywhere else, including here in Oxford. It must be fought everywhere else in New York, where black people get to be shot at by police at will without serious action. We need a world that recognizes human beings and not color. It starts with me. It starts with me, particularly if you are white. You need to stand up and say, not in my name. We are a new generation. We need to usher in a non-racial international society. Racism has got no place where democracy, prosperity has to take place. South Africa, we want to lead by example. In the same way we led by example and accepted that the colonizer and the colonized must share territory. even beyond the defeat of the colonizers, we did not seek to pay revenge. We continued to share territory with those who colonized us, because we believe strongly that there is a place for everyone in South Africa. But let us transform the economy to benefit all. We cannot protect white privilege at the expense of the majority African people in South Africa and the whole entire African continent. We are hated for saying that. We are hated for demanding that we must all be treated as equals. It's not going to change that. We will rather die for a dream that is going to be realized by many generations after us. Even if we don't realize it ourselves, we've made a commitment to lay a firm foundation for generations to come.
Hi, Uncle and Auntie. I don't know how much of you grasp exactly what Julius Malema said there. Because of his accent, I understand every word and very clear what he said there. I want to take a few minutes to break down and explain what he said there in those few minutes of his speech. He said we can't protect our own agricultural land to produce because they're putting limits on how much you can export so that you can buy their packaged products like rice, sugar, apples, grapes, and so on, so that their country and their people can prosper. And when we dare open our mouths and say a word against this, then we are threatening their business interests. This is their new way of colonizing our minds and forcing us to bow before them, regardless of how they exploit us. The man said, we come from an apartheid system where the whites have exploited them for far too long. Yet we have extended our hands of friendship to them. But many of them still behave as if South Africa is under an apartheid era. They are showing their racism all over. Let me say this as clear as I can. My hand, and I am sure every Guyanese hands, is extended to every foreign investors in this land. We are not anti-investors. We are for what benefits them and what benefits us. It must be a two-way street and not this one-sided affair that is going on in this land. 2% royalty will never be accepted with zero taxes. And this is only the start. To God Almighty, how can this ever be accepted by any human being? They didn't even do that in Africa, uncle, what they're doing here. But they're doing that, yes, in our country, and telling us that we are threatening their business interests. And these clowns we have for leaders are silent. The opposition silent. And the government saying that they are going to take this threat very serious. Serious to who? And serious to what? Mr. Jagdeo and President Ali? People who fighting for their rightful share? Oh yeah? People who fighting for a little more rice in their plate. People who are fighting to send their children to school without lunch. Oh yeah? Yeah? That can never be here as long as God Almighty give me breath in this mouth, nose, and a mind. Yes, and a mind that has been blessed. Never it could happen. The man said, uncle, he will not allow South Africa to become a racist republic. I think he was talking about Guyana. Yes. Our resources in this land, what is being done with it is beyond racist, beyond criminal, beyond evil. It is barbaric. This is slaughtering. There is no category for what is happening in this country today. The biggest gold companies are in this country. They sneak in this land silently, fetching out our gold by the tons, and those contracts are being hidden from us. Isn't this racist? And anti-investors? We are threatening anybody business interest here, uncle? Huh? For talking these things? Wait, man. Me and my family, my grandchildren, own these resources. I am bringing the Guyanese people yet. We own every drop of this oil, every drop of gold, every tree that sits across this land. And me and my family must know what's going on with it. Every Guyanese must know what's happening with it. Well, I think I am worse than that man, Julius Malema. I have to know, and every Guyanese has to know, and get what is rightfully theirs. How come this, what is going on in these sectors, do not represent major threats to the interests of me, my family, and that of the Guyanese people, Madam Ambassador, and High Commissioners to this country? How come? How come you're not getting a statement from any one of you about things like this? Like Julius Malema. Why should we keep on bowing to the white man's world all the days of our lives for loans to sustain ourselves, to feed our children when we are so rich in resources? Our grandparents were forced to bow down during slavery and indentureship, fought and won freedom so that we don't have to bow down before anybody. But today, yes, today, look what is happening. We are on our knees and two hands begging to survive all over again. All because of these leaders that you stay in your fingers for. The pittance is being thrown at us by these foreign investors, and we are told to be happy. Don't complain. How can this ever be? They are making money, real money, and we are living in poverty with a few penny. A penny here and a penny there. Let me say this. If I was an ambassador or a national leader, I would be ashamed. I would bag my face to say foreign interests are being threatened in a land where endless wholesale robbery is going on and greater enslavement staring us in our faces. And that is being taken seriously, guys, by our leaders. Could you believe this thing? And you could be serious in this land. I am told the UK, Canada and the EU are going to join the American embassy, putting out a statement similar to the one that came out last week, in which their business interests is being threatened too. I am waiting to see it. You see how they're ganging up on you and your country with your wealth? All of them holding one head because they want a piece of Iri's head. They want to take over your head. I don't recall saying namaste, but let me say it again. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Or hallelujah. Since the Holy Week began yesterday, Palm Sunday. Amen. You're sure that South African MP Malema wasn't talking about Guyana when he said they're still hurting after what the Africans went through during the apartheid era, and is still willing to hug the whites and treat them like brothers, although the white people took over most of South Africa's land and treasures. Have we not been doing the same thing here? Hugging every foreigner, treating them like brothers and sisters, even though they are wounding us day after day with what they are doing in this land and now in our ocean. You tell me, guys. Isn't it time this thing come to a halt? And they must treat us like brothers and sisters by giving us what is rightfully ours? Huh? I love Julius Malema when he said, we need a world that recognizes human beings and not a world that recognizes color. You really believe, uncle and auntie, if Guyana was a white man country, the things they're doing to us, the black, brown and purple people with our resources, would ever happen? Ever cross these foreigners' minds? You think they would ever do that? Name me one country on earth with white people that has oil, gold or timber, that they can do what they are doing presently in this country with our gold, oil and timber. I can list a number of countries, the non-white countries, I should say not the non-white countries, the white countries, getting 25, 30, and looking for 50% royalties now. Yes, and some of them looking for more than that. And ExxonMobil throwing 2% and said, dogs, take that and don't bark. If you bark, we're going to bite off your head or make you bite off your own tongue. Not Glenn Lall. Not Glenn Lall. I was gifted to bark from the man above, and only he can muzzle me. No statement can muzzle me, whether it come from A, B, C to Z countries. I know what I was placed here on earth for, and my work has just begun. You know, I went to Borbies yesterday, and I will give you a little rundown of what took place in a moment. But let's continue with Brother Julius Malema, the same speech you heard just now. He said, we are a new generation. We have entered into a new era, uncle. A new way of thinking. And we need to usher in a non-racial international society. He said racism got no place where democracy and prosperity is concerned. He said although they took advantage and raped the country, he still wants to hug them and greet them with open arms so that they all can share the prosperity of South Africa together. You hear that, bro? Although they went out to do all that, the man want to hug them to share the prosperity of South Africa, Josh, with all. Let me repeat. Glenn or no Guyanese wants to fight any foreign business interests here. We just want to be treated fairly, to enjoy the prosperity of our resources. What is wrong with that, Josh? Prosperity ambassador and high commissioners, as you all goes hand in hand with democracy. You can't be such a rich nation and have half the population going to bed, going to work, going to school hungry. How can this ever be fair to the owners of these resources, guys? You should have been ashamed, like Malema said, to put out such a statement to this nation in your name, Madam Ambassador. Come on, guys. All we're asking for is justice from our own resources. You're ready to stand up. You're ready to put out statement fighting for your prosperity with my wealth while leaving nothing for me? How can this be right? How can this be acceptable to anyone? Anyone being exploited like this? Where is the decency? Where is the righteousness? Where is the godliness in all of you doing this to the Guyanese people? And still barefaced enough to put out statements of threats to ID's business interests. Gosh. I need a sip of tea. Miss Mortley's a wicked girl. She didn't make me a cup of tea yet. I can drink a little water in the meantime. Josh, I gotta drink a little water. Miss Mortley's not a nice person. Until she make a cup of tea for me. Gosh, man, how can this ever be fair? How can this ever be right? Julius Malema said, even after we defeated the colonizers, the colored people didn't look for revenge. They continued to share territories with them because he believes strongly that there's a place for everyone in South Africa. But let us transform the economy to benefit all South Africans. You hear those words, Uncle? I don't think I can say that. I don't think I have reached that level. That's an extraordinary human being. Yes, that's an extraordinary human being to speak like that. A people who enslave your great-grandparents, whip them, jail them, rape them, brutalize them, kill them, took away everything they have, and still can say to their children, I have nothing against you except love in my heart. And then he went forward, Josh, to beg for a fair share of the resources for both parties. The man gotta have a special heart to say, come, sit at the table. Let's have a conversation on how we can share the wealth. Share the wealth fairly and squarely to both the white South Africans and the black South Africans after all they went through. Now let's look at Guyana, Uncle. Thank you, Miss Mortley. Thank you. Thank you. I forgive you. Thank you. After all they went through, that man is willing to sit at the table to share the wealth of South Africa between the blacks and the whites equally. Now let's look at Guyana, Uncle. It's a totally different situation. We don't have white and black here like South Africa. We are all black. Every Guyanese is black in the eyes of the white world. Get that in your heads. Some of you who say you are fair skin and got bright eyes. Some of you who think Indians are not black. Change that thinking. Once you're not white in this world, you're black. I have had countless experience as an Indian in the white world. And let's leave it there. Guyana is held in the minds and eyes of the white man as being an all-black country and nothing else. They ain't concerned whether you're Indian, African, or Amerindian. We are all black. I can't be clearer than that. Look what is going on here. The foreigners are deciding everything. They are calling the shots. They are dictating to our leaders what they want and what the nation should have. My gosh. Oh, bro. Joshua,
Yes, sir.
anyone read at the bargaining table? No. And even the decisions they make in the contracts we can't see. When you ask the leaders simple, straightforward questions, they tell you how you asking about the feather from the foot and the feather from the head of the plucked chicken. Simply telling us there, shut up and take what you get, because the white man says so. And don't ever ask those questions again. That's what Jack Day was actually telling me when I asking him questions on the oil. Now they're putting their own people to shout down at journalists. While the reporter asking President Ali at Lenore about our oil. Oh boy. This is where we are today. You are not at the bargaining table, the negotiating table, and the people who are standing on your fingers for is shouting down at you for your own interests. I wonder if the ambassador going to put out a statement to this effect. Let's move on. Let's get back to Julius Malema. Could you play the last piece for me?
Yes.
And that last piece, how he ended.
We believe strongly that there is a place for everyone in South Africa. But let us transform the economy to benefit all. We cannot protect white privilege at the expense of the majority African people in South Africa and the whole entire African continent. We are hated for saying that. We are hated for demanding that we must all be treated as equals. It's not going to change that. We will rather die for a dream that is going to be realized by many generations after us. Even if we don't realize it ourselves, we've made a commitment to lay a firm foundation for generations to come.
I really love the piece. But before that, the man said we cannot protect the interests of the white community at the expense of the majority. Isn't it the opposite that is happening in Guyana, Uncle? We're our leaders, both government and the opposition, doing everything to protect the interests of the foreigners while betraying, giving away, selling out the interests of all Guyanese. You tell me, why President Ali and Jagdeo doesn't want you to question them on the contracts and the oil? And when we talk, we are hated for saying it. We are hated for demanding that all of us must be treated as equals. And we are not going to change that. The man said, isn't the same thing happening here, brother? Mention that word renegotiation. Oh, bro. Oh. Renegotiation. You can feel, you can smell, you can even taste the hate coming from our own people. Vice President Jagdeo said, I have never promised renegotiation. President Ali said, I have never promised renegotiation too. Although both of them is on record many times saying, we holding the wrong end of the stick. What a terrible deal we living with. They sell out with patrimony and we will change it. Both of them, President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo, said those words. Like I said, I love how Malema ended it. The man said it has to change. He said we would rather die for a dream that is going to be realized by many generations after us. Even if we don't realize it ourselves, we have made a commitment to lay a firm foundation for generations to come. Uncle, like Julius Malema, Glenn Lall rather die laying a firm foundation for this and other generations to come. My work, your work, the work of all of us has now begun. There should be no fear, but a vision of prosperity must be within our souls for what is rightfully ours. Remember, it is written somewhere. Our Creator has not given us a spirit of fear, but one of love, and that of a sound mind. Let us use those God-given gifts to get the best from all our business interest for our prosperity, Uncle. Please. Is that too much to ask for, Madam Ambassadors and High Commissioners? I don't think so. And now, I want to take you to where I went yesterday. Number 57 Village Quarantine, Berbice. Went to a beautiful home of a beautiful family, the Subnats family. People who I have never met in my life or have spoken to in my life before yesterday, invited me for a meeting with some nearby residents who love to listen to my programs. Oh boy. Oh. The food was great. The love, the friendship, the warmness I felt going there yesterday, I have never felt before. I have never felt before traveling across this country, especially from strangers. I don't know what other word I can use better than to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the family and to everyone who listened so attentively at that forum yesterday. Thank you, guys. I spoke for about an hour and a half, which I want to share some of the things with you guys I touched on yesterday. One of the many things I said to them, Uncle, was Lall is not forming any political party. I was only there to educate them as to how rich they all are. And if they don't know how rich they are, they would not know what they are missing out on or what they deserve. I told them my job is to enlighten all of you so that you can hold the leaders you stain your fingers for accountable as to the decisions they make with your wealth and your future. I told them no one should be running to the political parties or to the presidential rallies and have to beg for a house lot. I said if the leaders can only get from the foreigners their rightful share, yes, our rightful share, they would not only get a house lot free, but they will get mansions with the latest model of vehicles parked in the driveways. Yes. They will get free, beautiful roads, highways that they can live. Yes. Live the lives of Maharaja and Maharani, kings and queens, along with fat bank accounts. Yes, that's what I told them. Only if they know the value and the leaders get our rightful share, all those things can happen. I told them one policeman said to me, President Ali give them $5,000 increase on their salary and promised to give them a house lots. Yes, give them house lots. The policeman said, Glenn, as it is now, the salary I am taking home can't even pay the rent, send my children to school, or give my family a decent meal when the day come. How on earth? Where can I or where will I find $600,000 or $1 million to pay for a house lot alone? Then pay a loan at the bank to build the house. My gosh, I felt so sad. I felt so sorry. Not only for that policeman, but for all the public servants in this country. Look what's happening in this land. The poor fella, salary, uncle, can't feed him and his family and send his children to school. 5,000 increase. The man want to know if he go to the bank and take a loan, how is he going to fix that? I also told the audience yesterday how one of my ex-employee, 2 young daughters, came to see me Saturday. One 17 and one 13. The 17-year-old didn't is not going to school. She come looking for a job. And the 13-year-old didn't go to school for 2 weeks. Their mother is a cleaner at one of the schools on the East Bank of Demerara. And whenever she gets money, whenever she gets pay, yes, then the children go to school until the money is finished. She told me 400 to go to school, to go and come. And she, mommy, just give she $500. So the $100, whatever it can give her to eat, she makes do with it. And depend many, many, many days on her friends to share their lunch with her if they bring or if they have. This is the dilemma. This is the horror. Thousands of our black, brown and purple children live through when the day comes, presently in this country. When I shared that story at a meeting yesterday, I saw some of the attendees shaking their heads. One of them said, it's happening here in Barbies too. Yes. In an oil-rich country that is unmatched, if we are to use the population to gauge the wealth in the world. We are the richest, uncle. We are the richest per person. And this is what goes on in this land. I said to them, uncle and auntie, Glenn Lall and every Guyanese, yes, Glenn Lall and every Guyanese, I am certain, will forgive all the politicians for whatever wrong they would have done, whatever corrupt transactions they would have concocted, whatever money they take, if they take. Yes. Oil block or no oil block, we will forgive all of you to start doing the right things from now on. I said, even if the oil company is holding our leaders at ransom with the secrets of taking whatever they take, uncle, we are willing to go past that. We will not hold that against them. Just let's start all over again from today. Any Guyanese have a problem with that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I told them, call the US, the EU, the Chinese, the Canadians, the British, the Russian, and all the rest, and tell the ambassadors and the high commissioners to look out for we business interests, and not only their business interests, because the resources, every piece of our wealth in this country belong to every Guyanese, not them. I told the audience, stop asking your leaders about the fishing industry. It is three-quarter dead. And in a few more mornings, it will be completely buried in all the cemeteries across this country. The oil operations is what destroyed that sector. So please ask the ambassadors and high commissioners to compensate the fishermen and their families and all Guyanese who will now be forced to buy imported fish to eat. Where will we get the money from if we are not compensated properly from the oil? Isn't that part of our business interests, Ambassador? How can your business interests destroy an industry that brings money and providing food for our people and not being fully compensated? Which part of the world you guys can go and do business like this and expect a nation to remain silent. Yes. Which part, Ambassador? Who will compensate the Guyanese people for that, Madam Ambassador and High Commissioners? The 2% with zero taxes going to take care of that. Wow. Wow. This fishing industry used to bring in 70 to 100 million US a year and still feed all Guyana with seafood products. Thank you, guys. Thank you, and let's move on. Coming back from Borbis, we stopped at Bath Settlement, and a gentleman walked out from the supermarket and said to me, "God bless you, sir. I am so happy I meet you. Then bring a couple pound of fertilizer and give me." Oh gosh. Oh. Guys, stop asking the leaders for a couple pound of fertilizer, brother. That is not going to solve the problem growing crops now. The flaring from the oil operations out there, where just 2 leaser is sending a heat wave into our farmlands, into our cane and rice fields, that no amount of fertilizer will be able to help you with those crops. You know what you need, guys? Compensation. If you can't grow to feed yourselves, then you must be fully compensated. You must be fully reimbursed for your losses. What you say to that, Madam Ambassador and High Commissioners? In 2022, Guyana bring in 200 million US from rice. When that is destroyed, what becomes of Guyana and the rice farmers with their families and that of the Guyanese families? Yes. What happened to us when we will have to import rice? We are already importing to meet the quota. We are ready. Why? Why? When we used to be the supplier to the region and even Venezuela with rice. Wake up. Wake up not only your leaders, guys, but also call on the ambassadors and the high commissioners to look out for your business interests too. Yes. With this growing disease that will get worse in the coming years. Like how the fishing industry and the agriculture sector is feeling the squeeze with the heat presently and the oil operation very soon. When the flaring begins in Liza 3 and 4 and with 5 if Jagdev approve it, then y'all start make preparation to grow your rice and your kitchen garden inside of your bedroom, because the heat will be coming from those leases will even kill the grass that the cows, the animals eat to live. What happened to our business interest there? Oh, the 2% royalty with no taxes will fix those problems. I am just asking. I love to ask. Who will compensate the farmers and their families with the bank loans for the combines and tractors they bought? Along with the fishing boats and the engines. Oh, shouldn't the Guyanese people be fully compensated, Madam Ambassador? Rice, just like fish. I told you brought in 200 million last year. When this industry drops dead, like the fishing industry, what becomes of us? Oh, I'm asking again. We're in trouble, guys. We're in great danger, guys. Also, I want every Guyanese to stop asking the leaders to patch road here and fix one there. Ask the ambassadors and the high commissioners, where are we going to get the money from to fix back the damaged infrastructure and the roads that the oil companies are destroying in this country, day in, day out? Ask them. Tell them our government is spending billions every 2 months to import bitumen to correct the damages done by the oil companies. Where are we going to get the millions of US from, Madam Ambassadors and High Commissioners? Where? Sunday, Ashni Singh reported we get 377 million oil money for the first quarter of 2023. Multiply that by 4 and you get just over 1 billion US. Them destroying our infrastructure and the agriculture sector, the fishing industry, to the tune of 2 and 3 billion US, and throwing just over $1 billion US at us. This is the way you run a country. Yes. And then ambassador putting out statements saying that their business interests is being threatened. We whole country and our future already facing threats of total destruction for our present and the future generations. And their business interest is threatened, not ours. Fetching out our resources in the US billions and giving us a small change. How you like that, uncle and auntie? And when we talk this talk, we are deemed enemies, not only by the foreigners, but by our own leaders in both camps. Oh boy, oh my, your fishing industry gone. Now your agriculture going on the deathbed. Your infrastructure damaging. You're spending, they're putting you in 2-3 billion US dollar destruction. And you're barely getting 1 point something when the year come. And you need to help me, Papa. I need help. I told the Barbarians, how can you allow your neighbor chickens to come over into your yard and eat belly full your chicken feed, fattening themselves to give the neighbor a good meal? Yes, fat chicken meal. While your chickens are left with nothing to eat and grow. Joshua, somebody got to put a fence. Right? Yes. And the man who losing out got to put a fence. Correct?
Yeah.
Well, Guyana losing out all the chicken feed to ExxonMobil because Jagdev not putting a fence to protect we chicken. wee pockets. That in a nutshell is ring fencing, uncle. Put a fence so that ExxonMobil cannot spend in other yard and take it out from the yard that is bearing to shorten we profits. Every yard must take care of their own expenses so that you can get your rightful profits. Yes. Every chicken must eat in their own yard. You must put a fence to block it. Because if you allow the neighbor fence, the neighbor chicken to come over without you feed, is you pocket feeling the heat. Yes. The arrangement we got right now is everybody chicken coming in we yard, eating out we chicken feed, and we chicken starving. I told them Barra Jagdeo going to allow another yard chicken, the 5th yard chicken, to come in and feed on our profits. Yes, you're going to approve the 5th project without going to put a fence again. And I told them ring fencing has nothing to do with renegotiation of the contract. So don't let your leaders tell you that you are bound by sanctity of contract. No, sir. No, madam. Ring fencing is to protect each yard. Let's wait and see what President Ali and Jagdeo have to say on this. I was so delighted to see the facial expression of the people as I was talking to them. Even the spies, yes, the spies, they sent there, nodding their heads in disbelief that this is happening to them with their own leaders. Thank you too, guys. Thank you for spying. I'm so happy that I was able to even enlighten you people as to what are you supporting. You see what truth can do, Josh? Just now all of them going to run out from my party. Don't change this highway robbery. And I keep on saying, after full protection, uncle, the second most important thing in this oil industry is that fence. Guyana will lose all of its oil. Yes. We will go broke without a fence on those projects and end up worse than Venezuela or the oil countries in Africa and Asia. I better get them to ring fence them project this. I told the audience too to stop clapping their hands and jumping up for joy for a stadium with handouts or borrow money. Demand your fair share and you can have stadium and playground to international standards in every village across this country. Stop complaining about hospitals, doctors, bandages and painkillers or a pressure tablet to help you. Demand your fair share and we will have state-of-the-art medical facilities all across this country, uncle. Yes. With state-of-the-art equipment, better than Europe and North America. Yeah, man. And you will have the best medications in the world. Yes. The best that the world produce, free of cost. If you only demand your fair share from what God Almighty blessed us with. Uncle and Auntie, demand your fair share and we can have the best educational system in this whole world. Demand that your government put a ceiling figure to the interest rate we are paying on those huge loans. so that we can get our full share. Yes, we can get our full share to give you all the amenities in life. Ask the ambassadors and the high commissioners. We are both partners in this business. How come you're looking out for your business interest alone and not ours? Yes. Them interests are not ours, who own all these resources. Ask them that. Go in front anyway when you see them and ask them that. Stop lining up at their embassies for visa. Heaven is right here in Guyana. You don't have to go to their countries to eat the mango skin of your own mango tree in Guyana, guys. Come on. Come on. You can eat the flesh right here. We leaders proudly announce we get 377 million in 3 months as profit and royalties. 75% come out as cost oil before we get that. Billions of US coming out and we get in millions. Yes. Them get billions and we get in millions. Ring fencing again. Ring fencing Guyana. Gosh. Oh, ring fencing. Money they take out there, uncle. Yes. 75% is the ring fencing money they take out. And when you ask Jack Dale to see that, he telling you, he will decide whether we see it or not. How you like that? Ask him to see what they're taking out. He will decide whether we see it or not. This will belong to he or he parents. Make he can talk to us that way. Oh, brother. Oh, sister. Oh. Oh. Before I take the first call, I want to share 3 beautiful experiences from my trip yesterday to Berbice with all of you. After the meeting, I went to visit a family friend and ended up going into the wrong village and walking in the wrong yard. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, Joshua. There was this gentleman who looked at me and said, "Glenn Lall?" I said, "Yes, sir." He responded, "Girl, come quick, come quick. Your God come." When his wife came out, she was all light up with smiles. "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you for coming to our home." The poor lady didn't know that I made a mistake and walking in the wrong yard. She said, "You're the only person who will ever get my vote." My God, I nearly dropped down. You know? Man, Josh, if you see the hugs, the auntie running, she said she got to wash her hand first before she can hug me. I believe if we wanted her to cook all the chicken in the freezer, she would have cooked it for us. How delighted she was with my visit to her home. She could not help thanking me for these radio programs that she listens to. Yes, she listened to every single day. She wanted her photograph holding a placard saying change the contract in the newspaper. Her husband says, "Me too." When I realized I walked in the wrong yard, they then direct me to the village where I have to go to find the right yard. is 74 village, and I had to go to 69 village. That couple made my trip even more merrier. The love I felt from that couple really touched me, Joshua. Really, really touched me. The second story, coming down on the West Coast, from the West Coast Bobbies, we stopped at a supermarket where a man walked out and said, you remember, said the man, when he walked out and said the government give him a couple pound fertilizer? Uncle and auntie, the expression on that man's face when he recognized me, and what he said to me was pure love for what I do on this radio program. And the time, uncle, will run out if I have to tell you people what that man really told me last night. You know, then we came down from West Bobbies to drop off one of the friends who went with us at Monrepo. Oh boy, there was a few guys there sipping a beer, and when they realized that Lall was in the vehicle, they shouted at me and made me came out, and I couldn't be more happy. I could not be more happy with what those people were telling me. I am so happy that people are listening right across this country. Wow. The reception I received, man, it's unbelievable. Now let me say this. A heartfelt thank you to each and every one of those persons I met during my visit yesterday in Bobbies. The respect, Joshua, the love that was shown to me will stay with me as I continue my work of sharing my knowledge with you people. Yes, it will stay with me. A special thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Subnat for opening their home to me. The couple I met in 74 village, uncle and auntie, the man at the supermarket, and the young men at Monrepo. Once again, many, many thanks. And I'm looking forward to visiting you guys sometime in the near future. May God bless you guys all. Josh,
Yes, sir.
we're going to take some calls.
All right, thank you so much.
You know-
99.1.
Yeah, as the calls coming in, Josh,
Yes, sir.
as we stop at that supermarket owned by a Chinese, there wasn't even a urinal or a toilet there.
Wow.
I asked myself, where you guys wee? That's how we going to decide.
Wow.
Who
Wow.
authorized
To get
selling
a-
alcohol
Yeah.
without proper toilet
That's
facilities?
so true. I was about to ask
Huh?
the question.
It reminded me when I was in Zimbabwe, a Chinese store opened, and the workers had to go to the next door in the bush
To use the water.
to use the toilet. This is what's happening in our country.
So I have a question here from someone.
Mhm.
So they said here, Mr. Lall, aren't you afraid that the ambassador of the United States will take away your visa?
Take away my visa? They are sure they could take away the visa too. Not only the visa. You understand? This has nothing to do with visa, man.
I have a caller here. Good evening, caller. You're live.
Can't worry about visa.
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yes, I am enjoying your show
Thank you so much.
each night and day from the time you begin.
Thank you.
And yes, and we want Mr. Lall must run for this president. We want him to be the next president. He's doing a fantastic job. A fantastic job. We can't wait. I want to know when he gonna announce for this protest. You just got to call the day. I call in from a place, Myconi. Yes. And we need him right now. We're listening to his program. And we just be pray. Myself and my wife just pray for everybody. He and the panel and the wife and the children. We just be praying for them.
I hear you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And I'm glad I get through. It's the first time I tried many a time to get through, but I get through. You understand? And we really need that contract to change. We really, really need that contract to change, brother. It is not an easy thing listening. So that program, your heart got good. You understand? I'm telling you. When we hear what's going on in the country, brother, we have a blessed night. And Mr. Lall and his panel, we hello to him. And I appreciate what he's doing. We're just waiting for him when he's going to call to protest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Good night, caller.
Yeah, good namaste.
Namaste.
You hear me clear?
Clear, loud and clear.
Go ahead.
Let me return your call. Seems like you have some internet problem. 67267. Yes.
In the meantime, Josh, the gentleman talk about presidency and party. Guys, let's leave the parties alone. Let's get our leaders.
Yes. Go ahead, sir. Hold on for me. Finish your statement.
Let's wake our leaders up. They have been elected or selected. Let's wake them up. All of them. And when we see they're not moving, they're not budging. Look, tonight I am saying, and I think every Guyanese is willing to forgive all of them, whatever wrong they would have done. Whether they're tech or they're in tech. Whatever you tech, if Exxon holding you at ransom, if the oil company is holding you at ransom, we are willing to forgive whatever wrong you did. Whether oil black or no oil black, drop it. Let's begin to do the right things now so we can safeguard this country and our future. Please, let's give them a little more time. And if they don't, we have to shut this place down. Completely shut down. Like what happened in South Africa. And I am ready to lead that protest. Right? Go ahead. Take that.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for holding.
Yes, namaste. I'm saying namaste.
Namaste.
Yes, this is the person that when Mr. Lall come at Eskimo and Pamona there, Pandit.
Yes?
Yes, so these financial gurus, they fool the whole of Guyana. And now they're going to the Mandir now, and I do RT and things as one in a brave Gantu, Bhagwan Krishna in a brave here, Go Mata. That is very, very wrong. We can't go along with these things that what these people are doing. Now I want to raise the threshold to $80,000. I want to give one minister $80,000 to mind himself, his wife, and 2 children send to school and see the money go to work for the whole month.
Lovely
and
time.
all this oil money and all this kind of thing. Mr. Schumann Farm and a party in Eskimo here, and I asked of Mr. Lall, I want to let me go ahead and these people, them, you know, all them in one boat, all the financial guru and so like that's what you're talking about there. These people are only punishing people here. Look what I have, I am paying NIS contribution 38 years now. And I still have a claim for $24,000 basically. 5 months ago, when I called the labor officer in Georgetown, the ministry there, and said, can I help me? I go on a Regina there, they said, I can help me too as well. So why God me say, I pay them, and I sit down there and I look after people interest here, and I live that cost money while I pay over here. I'm working with a security company, and they say, when I call in Georgetown, they said, they are paying NS for us, and they can't pay me my contribution, my $24,000 they're sending for the sick leave. All these people are robbing, people are on thieving, thinking about thieving, and you know, and like this. So we are poor people.
All right.
I hear you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You talk.
And we have to get up and get that kind of and get up and get these people coming in our country, for our island, and get them. We know nothing about going on. I tell you the truth about going here. The two bars they have go all about now. My friend got in the West Coast here when the president been there on Friday and Thursday gone for look after you and they putting for a house lot. My friend told me that the minister for the house in there have up on the old people as well that the guard tell them so you can't talk to Mr. Ibarali, you know, the man for passing your talk to president like so we got to be dealing for fool people again. I share fool them fool people. No, they not along there everything on the internet. All these people are rap people and all these kind of things and so on. I don't know what Ben judgment day I don't know what they're gonna do. If you look at and Chip Town, Gupta, Muslim, and Mukin, Akir, Krishna got two angels, they must take down every action of our do every day. And when they're going to please Almighty God for that anniversary and pray with the Lee. And they're going to punish like how the 100,000 Brahman, because Pataban was in a whole school of Naskari, and they were born in great demon down, of course, tonight they were born in great demon, and nobody never have a handful of water for them. You don't want to for them. That's a main story to go no rat in the man there. The whole school was carry and no one ever left and who are thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
So much. I have a question here, Mr. Lall. It's someone, Joey in Alive is saying, Glenn, can you please get Trotman to come on this program so we can know exactly what happens with the lopsided contract? I guess he's maybe asking you to ask him, why did he went ahead to sign that lopsided contract?
Well, Trotman, I don't think Trotman is well now, but Trotman said that he was instructed and directed to sign the contract.
Yeah.
1 second. I would love for him to come on the program. Love to any one of them, PPP, PNC, or the AFC, any member of parliament. I would love for them to come on this radio program any day, any time. You don't have to be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Good evening, you're live on the radio.
Good night, Mr. Glenn Lall.
Good night.
Enjoy your show, right? Boy, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Now, Mr. Jack, do you ever go to Parliament anytime?
Yes. Yeah, he's
a question I never hear that you go in Parliament. And now, who is the true vice president for this country?
Well, all right. Let me tell you this: the president don't normally go to Parliament, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's a special hearing, he goes there. All the ministers and the MPs go there. By Jagdev, when he was president, he wasn't going to Parliament. Now he's a vice president and a member of Parliament, so he goes to Parliament. They make the rules and they make the decisions there.
Who's the first vice president? Who's the true vice president? Either Mark Phillips or he?
Bharat Jagdev.
Okay. All right. That called for him. I got for action yesterday, but it slipped me.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. All right.
I have this person that's been calling for quite a while. So just return this call. Remember, you can call us this evening on 226-7453, 502-4749, 226-7454, 622-2222, and 624-6456. So, those number for WhatsApp, 624-6456 and 622-2222. Good evening, sir. You've been trying to call. We're returning your call. Good night. Good night. He's listening. Yeah, he's listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, good night. I want to ask congratulations. Mr.
I'm not hearing him.
We're hearing you very hollow, sir. Could you maybe move away from the phone or...
Yes, sir. I'm not hearing you clear.
I'm not hearing you clear either. We'll try calling you back in a few, all right?
Yes. I just want to congratulate him because I hear him say, a woman said, he's the only person who would get my vote.
Uh-huh.
And he's the only person who would get my vote. One time in my life I ever voted in 58 years. I tried on many occasions to call you out. He's doing a wonderful job. I just want to call his protest. And I come in. I would leave my work and come. I do 2 jobs just for survival.
Wow.
And I will come. I will come.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Good night.
Yes, good evening. Slow your radio, please.
All right, well, we'll take this one while
Take
it's
that
on.
one.
Caller, good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
I just called the first time I called in, right? I heard everything that's going on with the president and the liveness and the going to pray now and on. And but all I called to say, Mr. Glenn, keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother.
And all which they do right. And I trust in you. But I would like you to form a party to be a president of this country, you know.
Man, I
I
stop
think
this thing.
so. I
Man.
think so that you will do good. You will do good. You may be kind. It's prouder than when you are proud for 28 or 38 or
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
So. But anyway, don't if it not to be the case. Thank you for doing a good job.
Thank you.
And
Thank
keep
you.
up the night.
Night,
And
night.
to the final good night.
Hold on. Take the call on hold. Take it.
Good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Glenlall, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead, sir.
It's a wonderful job. It's a wonderful job what Mr. Glenlall is doing. I really, really appreciate it. I am living overseas, and anytime you guys ready for the protest, I am on. And the same day and the same flight.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm on live.
Yes, you're live on here.
I'd like to ask this. So, Guyanese people have suffering for a long while. Look at the business sector. Look at the poor people today. I'm poor. I went to the doctor 4 months ago for a make appointment for my eye, and it was $5,000 then, just in June this year, January this year. I go back the other day to make appointment to see the same very doctor. You know what the cost to see that doctor today? $10,000.
Wow.
That's like $50 to $50 US. Where can the poor people go if they don't have money to go see a doctor today? It's very embarrassing in this country. And Mr. Glanlall is, what is Mr. Glanlall is saying there? It's not more but the truth, but the truth to help me, God. The poor people are suffering. Very, very terrible. Look, you walk the street in Georgetown. You cannot go with less than $50,000 a week in the market and the supermarket to buy groceries. Then you can't put nothing good on the table to eat for your children. Many people are starving out of school without about Glenn saying there. It's absolutely not more about the truth and not more about the truth to help him, God. People need to stand up and stop looking at race. Look at the way you have to live your life. These people up there don't care about you.
Can you hold a moment?
You believe that your neighbor wants you to get rich just like them? Just like what they were doing to the poor people today. They want you to get rich because if they get rich, you ain't got time with them.
Can you hold a moment, sir?
Mm.
Can you hold a moment? My reporter was heckled, intimidated at a so-called press conference because she asked President Ali about the oil industry. Wait. Today, Kwame McCoy put out a statement. A very disrespectful statement.
You can't, well, who more you expect can do anything about it? You cannot stop this.
No, but the point I want to get, right, is that the leaders, all this poverty we're living in,
they doesn't care.
right? Look, the conditions. Look, you can't put food on your table, and you're so rich. And guess what? The leaders running and ducking and hiding.
Absolutely.
From press conferences. Jack Dale said the week before he will hold, when he had his PPP press conference, he will hold one last week. Last week come and gone. Let's see if this week can come and go.
How much since Mr. Ali become president, the brother Ali become president, this is Ramadan month, ask him if he can stand how many press conferences did he hold in public viewing and listen to the plight of the people.
He has
as
never
media, as media people ask them questions, how much press conference he held and Jack Dale held. You count them and show me who is the president or who is the other sitting one. I don't know if we got two presidents. It seems to be we got two presidents. Because the one that gives the most press conference, like he's the president, not Mr. Ali. Because Mr. Ali can't talk more than what he just said. He talks more than everybody. I see some footage where he went at the Edward over the weekend. He abused him like I don't know who he abused him. He abused him with the past. Born him there and gone, rest his soul, dragon them. You got to tell the people what are you going to do for them? No! Not who gone be then. No, we want to know what goes on in our life now. The children and the unborn children going to pay all these debts what we owe from generation. I born every debt. Me children and grandchildren got owe debt still. Come on, Mr. Lall. It's real, but it's going to still be real.
I hear you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
First of all, let me compliment you for the wonderful job that you're doing, sir. I'm calling to ask you when you are plan to visit Buxton and the surrounding area.
Plan to visit?
Buxton and the surrounding area.
I would love to go anywhere. Once you people can, once I'm invited and you people have a sizable crowd that I can come and speak to them, any part of this country I can go. I would love to go to Boston. I would love to go anywhere, man.
All right, well, we'll make some arrangements for you to come to Boston very soon.
I have no qualms about that. Keep my number.
Thank you very much, sir.
Keep my number and call me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
You too.
Call here as we call him for a while. Let's see if we can get through. Remember 624-6456, 622-2222, and 226-7453. Those are the numbers you can call us on. Good evening, sir. Thank you for holding.
Good night.
Good night.
This is
The Glenn Lall Show.
Glenn Lall Show.
Yes, it is.
Pardon me?
Yes, it is Glenn Lall Show. Go
Am
ahead.
I to Glenn Lall Show?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good night. I'm happy to get on to y'all. Greetings to you on your panel, but I would like to share. I'm trying to get over a month now. I didn't get to what I'm looking here to tonight, this week. I would like to share this with y'all, that I am requesting to our leaders to come in this farming area, King Grove, for over a year now, and there is nobody. They always promise us. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, they always promise us and they never come. And we are now in the rice industry. We licks last crop and we get licks this crop again. And the leaders them reduce $200 from our paddy price when the expense gone sky high. And there is nobody to count on. Even the minister, I am having 4 letters which I wrote from the minister to the Home Affairs Minister, also the President. And there is no reply for about 4 months now. So I don't know who we can come to and who we can depend on. But I would like to highlight some of my plight which I am facing. These people are in office. They are making the fool of us. Hello?
Yes, we're here, we're listening.
Okay. Yeah, they are making the fool of us. I'm supposed to be a pension by 5 months now. They preach on the TV and all those things. Your friend Ali said 65 people must have their old age pension benefit. And I am 65 years by 5 months. And when I go into the office, the officers then reject my application. And they are telling me now, next year I must apply. That is when I'm going to be 66 years. So I wrote a letter concerning this. I'm having the date and these things. I would like to get it highlighted. Like put it in the newspaper, whatever. It doesn't matter. Put my name and date of birth and everything so that everybody would know what's going on. Because there is nobody we can come to. And we are facing it very, very hard.
I hear you, Uncle.
I would like to know whatever can be done.
I hear
Our
you.
people can wake up. I would like whatever Mr. Lall is doing on the program, with my contribution, I would like to make it a boom so that this nation can wake up
and rebel against these leaders of what they are doing to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I will send.
Okay.
I will
What
send.
advice you can give me to get correspondent? I would like to highlight my program.
I hear you. Thank you. I will try my best to get a message to Minister Mustafa. He is the man in charge of the agriculture, and I'll tell him he's a man like to work. I'm told he like to work.
I will try to send a letter to you all because I have all the dates and
All right,
letters
please
for letters that I
do
sent
such.
to
Appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. You're live.
Brother Glenn,
Yes, sir.
I'm listening to your program. It's a great program. But what's baffling me sitting here in my sofa here and trying to understand our people, what is it that they can't comprehend? That we're being cheated by ExxonMobil. And then we have the disparity between rich and poor, and black and Indians, and Coolie and black. And our people are there spying on Mr. Glenn Lall or taping Mr. Glenn Lall, telling the nation what's rightfully theirs. And these people are trying to undermine you or interrogate the people that's sitting there. What is really going on that our people can't get their right share and equally they're all supposed to live equally the same as others? What is really the problem, brother?
You're asking me a question that I can't answer, brother. I've been trying to figure this thing out from since 2015, why the leaders are not even asking for renegotiation. Asking. I can't figure out why they're doing all these things going forward each day that is totally insane. I can't, it's like seeing a big truck coming and these people sending our children in front of it. Knowingly.
I can't comprehend it.
I myself can't understand. I always tell people when I can't answer a certain question, I say, oh, I wish my parents had sent me to that university to get that answer. But it so happened that I didn't went to that university. I can't answer that question, brother. Sorry.
And I don't know what it takes, but I hope that our nation wake up and stop listening to these people that's taking them down the wrong path.
I don't think with yesterday going to Berbice and the sentiments on the streets, what I'm hearing, they have given up. And unless the PPP, the PNC, and the AFC do something and do it quickly in this country, no, brother, it's not going to go down well. The people of this country will not take it. And maybe this is why the U.S. Embassy put out a statement saying that their business interests is being threatened. Imagine these foreigners are taking out billions and we are getting a few millions. How on earth our business interests is not threatened, and the people who carry out billions, their business interests is threatened. How do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
I can't.
Well, I can too.
I can't answer that.
I can too.
I lived 45 years in the white man world. And I'm still considered a black man. I'm an Indian. And when I come back to my homeland, I always feel at home because I'm along with my people. And when the Indians are trying to differentiate between the blacks and the Indians, it's so goddamn sad. It's so sad.
Well, this is why I made it clear today that once you're not white, in the white man's eye, we are all black.
So when are we gonna start comprehend that and bring that to the forefront?
I'll answer that question on my next program. Thank you. Thank you,
good
brother.
night. Good night, bye.
Good night.
Good
Yeah.
evening. Thank you for holding.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Lall. Good evening to everybody.
Good evening.
The $18 million, is it was a signing bonus?
The 18 million, yes, was a signing bonus.
So we can figure out now who did instruct the trust not to sign the contract, because if you get a bonus, a signing bonus, that means the $18 million was to give you the okay to sign the contract.
Yes, if you get a signing bonus. Signing bonus is part of what you receive when you what you ask for and what you receive, signing a contract. But why are we worrying about $18 million 4 or 5 years ago when we are losing $18 million a day now, brother?
Yeah.
Huh?
And the part with the oil company not paying tax.
Mhm.
My father had a shop, and GRA sent him a letter to remind him that he owed them $160, right? And he had a small shop. He passed out, God rest his soul, but look how much millions of dollars the oil company getting away with that free.
Mhm. I hear you, brother. Any other question?
Mr. Lall, when you say that the PPP will head the country nowhere, I think that you should be the one to start a political party, because
Man, don't go down the road, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen to me. If the PNC and the AFC and the PPP is no good, then you tell me who the people gonna vote for if they don't have somebody who they could trust.
Well, when that time come, man, so we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Don't worry about that.
Well, don't take for it. When the time come, I will be forcing the line for you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care and have a good
You
evening.
too.
Yes, good evening, sir. You're live on the radio.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you, Mr. Lall and this panel. I would like to ask Mr. Lall, when is he going to be, if he would like to go to places like Victoria and Grove and so on?
Oh, lovely, man. Listen, I answered that a similar question to that earlier. I am ready, able, and willing to go any part of Guyana. If an invitation is extended to me and they want me to come, I would love to come, bro. I love to go anywhere.
Okay, so see that you've now indicated that I'll make some arrangements and to have these you visit these areas. All right?
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you. Store the number. Keep it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Seems that we have a lot of calls this evening. So
I know we got.
Lost that one. 226-7453.
No. You got enough call here coming in here.
I know.
I couldn't take them. Let me see.
Let's see if I can take back this one here. That's been.
I have one. Let me call back this guy.
Let's see. No problem.
Good evening. You're live.
Good night, Mr. Lall. Good night, Mr. Panel.
Good night.
Mr. Lall, I want to congratulate you about the refinancing scenario that you laid out tonight to us there.
Thank you.
You sound so down to earth that even my kid will understand what you're saying there.
Yeah, but do you have any question for me, man? I'm getting kind of a little, orky and tired with this thank you. We don't want to hear this thank you, and Glenn Lall when you go for a party and Glenn Lall when you will be president. Let's come off that. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, you need ring fencing.
Yes, I told you people. So we got to figure out that, and we got to hold a placard and go in front of President Ali's office or Jagdev office and Norton office and Ramjatan's office and say hello. We need ring fencing on every other ongoing projects. We don't get shaft with the Leaser 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We need to have ring fencing and every other thing. We cannot allow the neighbor chicken to come eat out our chick feed. We cannot do that. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Josh.
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, good night.
Right then.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, listening.
Yeah, listen. When Jaggi was in the opposition, it's like, his father have a cattle farm. His sister got control of it. His brother was running it. Jaggi knew that when his father cows selling out, and the people who buy in the cow, the butcher making millions of dollars from his father's cow. Because he talked about it with the opposition, when he was in opposition. So he knew now is lots of money this cattle farm making. And he to his family only getting $1,000. And those people making millions of dollars on the cow. Now he's in charge of the cow. He took over the interest of the cattle farm for his father. And now he's doing the same thing now. You hear the butcher making so much millions and he getting $1,000 on. So now the same thing what your brother has been doing, he doing now. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you, brother.
Yeah, that is what you're doing. The same contract, the same competition his brother was doing, that is what he's doing now.
No,
because he said he will
careful,
change it. He wasn't seeing the money.
You gotta careful,
sir.
You gotta careful with these accusing people of being scampish and these kind of things. We can't do that. You know, you gotta careful with what you say. We cannot accuse nobody of being, crookish or scampish. If you can say, well, here we get a family member and stuff like that, but call people names or things like that. They can carry me to court.
That's true. Good evening.
Good evening, on to the Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, you're live on the air.
I just want to make my contribution to Glenn Lall. So I want to ask Mr. Glenn Lall,
Mm-hmm.
to the Ministry of Labour, to all those foreign workers that is in Guyana right now working,
Mm-hmm.
do they pay, they on a work permit every year, they have to pay or contribute something to the Ministry of Labour?
Ministry of Labour. No. They don't contribute. We contribute as employees of companies and the ministries to NIS and PAYE, and if
foreign workers, them don't pay a work permit.
The foreign
the foreign workers, if they have travel work
I got
permit.
you. Okay, the foreign workers, I think they have to get. No, man, no. I don't. All those things I think is waived. Anybody can come and pick up and work and do whatever they want to do here. It's a free for all in Guyana.
Because for me, I'm a Guyanese and I'm in a foreign country, and every year I have to renew my own.
No, I think that's a very nice question you ask. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna answer that question Wednesday. But I'm certain it's a free for all in this country. Anybody can come here and do anything.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and you keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
That's
Enjoy the program.
thanks,
you.
man. That's a nice question the gentleman asked.
Very nice question.
Joshua, remind me to
Yes.
to find out if they have to get work permit. You don't even have to get visa to come here now, man. This country is free for all. The oil companies them can bring in anybody anyhow. Good evening, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Glenn.
Good evening.
Highlight contribution tonight is I calling on the Sarah Lynch to withdraw the statement and she needs to make an apology to the Guyanese people for that statement.
I agree with you.
And because not only the U.S. business is threatened, how about our interest?
Exactly.
How about the Guyanese people?
Exactly.
And the next thing, we need to get the foreign companies or the workers to pay the PAYE, that is pay as you earn.
Yes.
like any other Guyanese, or the 3% or how much, or the 3.3 or how much, whatever depends on how you earn. And to your journalist, I just want let she must not be afraid of people be intimidate and stuff like that, because the Guyanese people are with them.
Yeah,
be strong, stay strong, and we are all Guyanese together.
They're strong. Any reporter, journalist, or editors under Glenn Lall is just another Glenn Lall. Trust me. I brew them that way. But
you have a great.
Thank you. But that's a nice question.
You have a great.
Thank you. But that's a nice question you ask. If they pay PAYE, but they're not paying, and if they do pay, you gotta hear this one. If ExxonMobil workers do pay, they PAYE, pay as you earn. Trust me, it comes out back as an expense to ExxonMobil. So they take it out and can give back the worker. That's in the contract. And all these things can change, and Jack, they're not changing it. You don't have to renegotiate the contract. Change. The fifth project that he's going to approve, all these things he can demand. To say no, when they pay taxes, you do not recover it. You understand? We want ring fencing. No more spending to come on this project. This project will pay for itself, and the Guyanese people to get their full royalty from from each other project. But he's not doing anything. Taxes he can demand that every barrel of oil come up there. They pay their taxes. So he can cap the interest rate on the 12.5 billion ExxonMobil set. I want you to listen to me carefully. Why ExxonMobil set them going to spend there. You hear that? Them set. I wanted to tell you guys a story tonight. Oh God, it's too much. And maybe I gotta hold it back for Wednesday. Too much. These things too much to consume. You can't sleep sometimes with it. Thank God it does not consume me too much. But I still go to bed thinking about a few things after watching my TV, and in the morning when I wake up, things come back to me. I am back to and keep on thinking about what's happening.
So,
but thank you so much. Yeah,
I think as we pull the curtains down on tonight's program, Mr. Lall, someone here wants to know, could you recap, how did you lost your case with the oil company, and briefly, if you can, and what's the next step?
Oh, when I took I wanted to carry that fight because, it's insane to have a company fetch out your wealth and don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
But the judge said very clearly that both governments amend the laws in Parliament to allow the minister at the time to waive the taxes.
Yeah.
And his hands are tied. You see, if they amend the laws in Parliament, then no judges can do anything. That's the law. And that's how I lose the case. Because the judge went so far to say that even though my lawyers file under a wrong heading, the man said this case is too important to a nation not to listen to. And he listened to the case, although it was filed. He threw that out. He said, no, I will listen to the case. And he threw that out. He said, no, this case is too important, I want to listen to the case. But he said, no, he said, the law gives the minister the power. And that's how I lose it. But the law gives the minister the power to waive the taxes. And he did. But every other ongoing project, Bharat Jagdev and President Ali does not have to abide by the law. does not have to waive the taxes, because the discretion is with the government, the minister, Bara Jagdeo now. He can say, well, here, the fifth project, I'm going to waive the taxes, or I will not waive the taxes. You see, the law just give them the power, but they can do that. And I still believe that the law give them the power to be discretional, not to give away all, but it is what it is. But this can change, and it can change tomorrow morning. All these are things you people need to know. And when you ask Jagdev them these questions, you hear what I say? You're asking me about the feather from the foot and the feather from the head of the plucked chicken. I heard a plucked chicken, making mockery out of our future. Come on, man. Come on.
Well,
I'm going to take your leave.
Yes, Mr. Lall, your closing remarks this evening.
And I just want to tell you guys, as usual, namaste. I'm going to bed with peace, love, joy, and divineness. And I want you guys to go to bed with that too. Don't take them on. When you wake tomorrow morning, let's pick up the fight and let's carry the war. All right? With that I say, namaste.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen.
And thank you for telling me happy anniversary for the newspaper and the Kaieteur Radio. Never mind, none of you called me and said that. I love you.
Have a good night, everybody.